So back to, I had started a little video on the YouTube channel for 30 seconds, but I had to get deep into this. So the Fresh and Fit guys came back. You know, the guy Myron and the other guy, dark skinned brother. I guess he's fresh, which is funny because it seemed like every dark skinned guy I know is like, their name is Fresh, but they not really like that. So it's like even the guy I grew up with, his name was Fresh, and people was he was the ugliest person out the neighborhood. But to each his own. Um, I watched one of the episodes and I noticed how it seemed like Myron used a certain type of wording to talk to these women. I call them girls because that's what most of them are. 18 to 21 for the most part. I know he said something to somebody about that's not all he brings up there, but for the most part, his average age is like 18 to 21. It's kind of like some pedophile stuff, but not really because they're over 18, I guess. And I saw him going back and forth with this woman that was like around his age, and then he said, I would be damned if I go with someone around your age. Now, mind you, I think Myron is 33, 34. I'm not sure. He's like a year older than me or whatever. And for him to say that to this woman, it was kind of like, well, damn, like, what'd she do? And he was just saying, like, they prefer 18, 20, the younger. And the woman was saying, that's kind of strange. You want a younger girl like that. And he said why he wants someone that's more impressionable, not experienced, blah 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 blah. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, well, maybe that's his preference. That's his preference. But it doesn't help when his staff or or whatever be like, yeah, I'd rather have a young girl, blah blah blah. I can do this and do that, and it's like she made a good point about it seems like that's for a weak man because it seems like he's preying on a young girl. And then he made his point. She made his point. Then he made his point. So then he asked questions like, and this is what gets me with him. This is what I say about the wording that he uses. He'll be like, so he'll ask, let me get this straight. So you want a guy that's tall, that's 6 feet and above, and the girls will be saying, yeah. When in actuality, they just want someone that's taller than them. Every girl wants a man that's taller than them. That's it. They don't have to be 6 feet. So when he throws that out there, it's like, come on now. Most girls is what, 5'5". What the average height for a female is 5'5". Average height for a male is what, 5'10". So now you giving her something that's above average, which is not like it means lightly, but it's like, come on now. So a 5'5" girl will date someone that's 5'9". Technically, they don't have to be 6 feet. So that debunks that part. Then he asks, do you want him to be stronger than you? Most of the time, men are stronger than females. That's kind of like a no-brainer. But he says it like, oh, a guy's going to be weaker than his woman or whatever the case may be. Even if they like bodybuilders or something like that. It's just, he asks these questions and then they just go along with it like little kids. Then he asks, you want him to be smarter than you. Now, that's a tricky situation because I know successful men, and the way they go about it is a partnership, right? Now, granted, yes, the man assumes a certain role and the female assumes a certain role, but they also look at it as a partnership. The way Myron and all these other guys go about it, I feel like they go about it like, oh, the man is always right. And me being a man, I'm not afraid, like, they in their eyes, I feel like they women can't check them, right? Which I think is wrong because I feel like everybody can get checked. You know what I'm saying? Like if you, let's say you get in an argument with your parents and you cuss your mom out or something, and your girl be like, yo, such and such, you shouldn't have did that. That was real disrespectful. I feel like Myron would be like, fuck that. Don't talk, he might break up with her because she said that to him. And actually you was in the wrong, right? So different things can happen depending on, the whole being smarter than all that stuff. What if you got someone that's good at engineering, but you're not good at sales or whatever? If my woman's good at sales and that's something I want to get into, that's a benefit for both of us. One, that's a benefit for me, and then it's a benefit both of us. So I don't see when they say want to be smarter than you, it seems like they just be wanting people to follow them. You can still lead and still, be the man and all this stuff like that, and your woman can have a good head on her shoulders. I don't think they be wanting women that got good hair on their shoulders. Just want them like, oh, just do this, this, and this because I said so. That's what it seemed like to me. From all the clips that keep coming up, I be like, God damn. Now I know he said something about he, help, men with, I guess getting shape, which I'm with. I understand that. I guess getting income. I feel like he should make more videos about that than, always having, what is it, 305 girls and stuff like that. Then this is another thing. I know how he preys on either they're not intelligent or they're not. I don't want to say it, 'cause I don't like calling people stupid. Their whereabouts. So to me, when he sits there and says, well, only 10% of such and such is like, something, they be like, oh wow, like they get so sad and so down or whatever the case may be, because they might look for a man that 6 feet and blah 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 and all that stuff like that. My problem with that is, if they knew what 10% was, I don't think they would be as sad if they really think about it, because unless it's 50 people, 10% is a little bit compared to what it is of, right? So I believe in Miami, because that's where they're stationed at, in Miami, and these are 305 girls, so Miami girls, whatever. It's like 440,000 people in Miami, I believe. I think. I can't really put it on. So if you take 10% of that, it's 40,000, right? 40,000 people. So it's usually like, it's only 10% that will really like you if you did OnlyFans, whatever the case may be. They'd be like, oh my God. They look so sad about it. I'm like, that's 40,000 people. Like, that's still a high number, but I feel like they're not that intellect or don't think about it. They just be like, damn, 10%, because they just hear 10%, and it's just, damn, that's a little bit, like, damn, even if you do 1%, that's still a lot compared to what, then he'll come up with, well, a study says, and he never states where that study came from. Let's like say, oh, the University of Boston did a study on blah 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 blah, and it's like, well, they probably just studied that section in Boston, and these people said blah 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 blah. Granted, so he seemed like the type that be like, he wants a girl with a BBL. Most guys want natural boot. Like, I like a girl with stretch marks, like what Kendrick Lamar said. Like, that doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys like, so when they want these young girls that's like, new per se, and they can easily mold them, because that's exactly what he said. He said, I want to be able to mold the woman. Granted, I feel like as a man, you can mold a woman, but that woman still gotta be who they is. They on some. Everybody's seen Coming to America. Not the second one, because that was terrible, but the first one, the classic. And Eddie Murphy's character wanted to know more about the woman, and the woman's been programmed to just do whatever Eddie Murphy says. That's not. That's not healthy. That's not fun. That's not like. I feel like the Myrons, maybe the Andrew Tates, I'm not really sure. I think they're more lenient, but definitely the Myrons are how he acts. And other guys that follow this, that's what they want. They want, oh, she do whatever I want, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what's that? What is that? Like, even if you want to do biblical, which I'm not really a biblical person, whatever, they say they made, Eve from Adam's rib or whatever. I mean, you're supposed to be by my side, not behind me, first day. I feel like they look at it like, you supposed to be behind me. But they always say, behind a great man is a great woman. So where did they get like? So how did now? Because even if you get these young girls, it's like they not really. I ain't gonna say they not about nothing, but because they motivated by you, and it's like, well, we know what you are, and then she just like your little child or something. It's like, come on now. It's like certain stuff, like when it comes to the females rubbing the wrong way when it comes to him and others. When they talk about status, to me, I feel like status is a broad word, meaning like status can be anything. He says you gotta have money, be tall, good looking, all that stuff gotta be status. And then I'm like, no, not really, because you have people that are short that are good looking, that's status. You have people that are fat and good looking that's status. You have some people that are fat and ugly that have status. So status could be anything. And then I saw, it might not be him, but it might be the other guy that does a little horn thing with the dreads, the heavy set dude. I'm pretty sure he has status, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't think he's attractive, but he has status. I believe he probably have money because of his YouTube or his podcast also. So, you know, everybody's status is different. And then I think they said men starts at the bottom, women starts at the top. Well, are you saying generally, or are you just saying like in a section or whatever? Because the same way how you can sit there and say, oh, women start at the top, I can tell you women that don't start at the top, that's homeless, that's crackheads, that's, you know, whatever the case may be, and you still saying they start at the top? No. I know guys that started at the top. They didn't start at the bottom. They started at the top because they probably inherited some money. They, you know, had a rich family, like whatever the case may be. So when you sit there and say, oh man, all might start right here, and then we gotta get this, and this just to get right here, and all women have to do is just stay up here and not sleep around, and they can stay up. It's like, let's be realistic, people. Like, come on now. Even if that's not your cup of tea, like most people are like, oh, I can't deal with a female that got more than 5 bodies. Well, my thing is this, depending on how old she is. If she's 20 and she got 5 bodies, it's like, oh, you know, or 10. Like my rule is, if you have more than your age, it's like, you know. But at the same time, I don't judge you. I wouldn't judge you. Like when it comes to, oh, you're a whore, you thought you just a third. Like, I get when they say, well, it's different for when a man can do it. A man does it to get status and blah, 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 blah. Or your dick can be trash. Like, let's be serious. I've known that too. I've seen that happen to people too. And or a female do the same as that thing. Oh, she's a whore, she's a thought. Like, at the end of the day, everybody like the sensation of sets per se. That's really what it is. But at the same time, I'm no one to judge if you want to have Tom, Dick, and Harry within the 3 guys within the week. I'm be like, oh, okay, that's you. Now, someone might like that because they're like, oh, you have experience, you might do other things. Like I said, Mario and them would say, no, I don't want a girl to have experience. But I'm like, damn, what if they don't know how to suck dick or something? Or they don't know how to ride because they don't have experience. Granted, yeah, you can teach them, but then what if your sex game is right? So now you just pass your weak sex game to her because she thought you were doing something. Then when she leaves you, you go to somebody else, and they be like, damn, what the fuck you been doing? Who taught you? And then she gonna sit there and be like, well, damn, Myron said I was doing good. And he like, oh, damn, Myron was trash, or Fresh was trash. Like, whoever the case may be, whatever. Then it's like, damn. So sometimes you want a little experience. So like I said, to me, if I'm 33, I can't date somebody. For one, I can't date somebody younger than my sister. My sister is 29. So you gotta be at least a 27 and up for me, personally. That's just me. That 18? Like, what am I doing with an 18-year-old? That just looks weird. Like, you know, that just, I can't do that, you know. But to each his own. I'm not judging mine from how he wants to do it. I'm just saying how problem is how he brings them young ladies up there, and is like he verbally and intellectually, I don't want to say rape them because that's a terrible word, but destroys them, and they don't know no better. It's kind of like they're like kindergarten kids waiting for the teacher to come in. The teacher be like, when I put my hand up, you go quiet. That's how it seems in that situation. Like I said, he said he's had, you know, other types of women up there, like older women per se, but then I feel like he have older women that does OnlyFans. That's a question I have for y'all. You know, comment and, you know, all that stuff, let me know. Because I just like doing this for interaction, honestly. Would you date someone that did OnlyFans? Now, my personal opinion, it depends on how old he is. Depending on what they do on OnlyFans. Because not all OnlyFans is just porn, right? Like, I seen some OnlyFans when a girl is literally just eating cereal, but she's flipping a pillow with her feet, but she's eating cereal. And someone really paying $10 for that, like, shockingly. Or someone painting it. No, it's all types of things, but let's just say, for the instance, the porn part. My thing is this. So if you do OnlyFans, right? Let's say you do it for 18. If you do it from 18 to 23, I say that. But then you stop and you launch a makeup line. a clothing line, you do something that I guess they would say more respectable, whatever, then I would still date you. Granted, you did OnlyFans when you was young and all that stuff. I would still date you. They be on some, no, I can't do that because everybody's seeing you, blah, 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 and all that stuff like that. Okay, I get your preference. I do. But don't say the women that have done that are never going to find happiness or never find nobody because no one's going to take them serious because they did OnlyFans. Now, what I will agree with them on, if you've been doing OnlyFans since you were 18 and now you're 35, it's like, to me, now you don't have a plan because the person, the first individual that I just talked about, if they did OnlyFans when they was 18, stopped it at 23 because it was fast money, it's easy money. Granted, you got some of these girls making 3,000, 4,000 a month just doing that. So of course that money come. Do you take that money? You invest. You do whatever your case. That shows me you have a head on your shoulders. You get what I'm saying? That it ain't. Okay, I have a body. I use it, but I'm not gonna keep doing it because one, everybody knows your body. I don't say deteriorate, but it changes. So you start using your mind. I respect that. I can appreciate that because now what it tells me is, oh, you looking for other goals. Myron and them would be like, well, no, I don't give a fuck about your career. Or like, nah, I feel, because if I'm bringing money in, let's say I'm bringing 150,000, right, a year, right, whatever the case may be, and then you bring your 80,000. We put our shit together, we making more, right? I can't sit there and be like, nah, you working at, like, they talking about you could be working at Wendy's or McDonald's and that. I'm like, I'm not against that either. I'm gonna help bring you up also. I might help you, like, oh, you want a wig collection, whatever. I help you do that also. But if you already coming with something and I got something, we put our stuff together. That's how you grow. They want to they want it one sided, and it's like, come on now. Then they add certain females, and certain females be like, well, yeah, the guy has to do this and do that, and that might be them females' perspective. But there's also other females that be like, yo, I will hold my man down if he had his job. We built it and he lost it for whatever reason. I'll hold him down for a year, whatever the case may be, or what. Well, okay, I saw someone was like, yeah, I hold him down for like 3 months. I'll be like, oh no, I'm leaving. Or okay, and then they'll sit there and say, well, men are natural nurturers and blah 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 blah. I'm like, since when? Like, last time I checked, the women had the babies. They're natural nurture. Like, what do we do? We do nothing to really nurture and like, where the fuck did that even come from? So I know guys that how we natural nurturers, but you got guys that deadbeat baby daddies. Nigga, ain't nothing natural. Like, come on now. They get a girl pregnant, like, oh, here's the plan B. Oh, you didn't take plan B? Damn. So where did they get that? Oh, we're natural nurturers. We'll take care of you until whenever. No. Some guys are not. They're not. So that was right there. That's a lie right there. But if you telling it to these 18, 21-year-olds that don't know nothing, they just probably fresh out of college or fresh out of high school, and they just making money. All they think about is money, 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 which is, I get that, but they don't have the intellectual part. That's why I said, me personally, I will go with someone older because, yes, the experience, I feel like, to me, they're scared of a woman that has experience. They're scared of a woman to tell them, like, no, type stuff, which sounds like some spoiled brat type shit to me, because it's like, dang, like, you scared for a woman till you know? Because my thing is, like, I'm gonna say I'm allergic to bullshit, but that's what I'm gonna call it. If something's like up or wrong, whatever, tell me why. And then we have a conversation. I feel like to them, they won't have a conversation with women because they feel like they so much superior, right? And at the whole time, the thing is, without women, there aren't any men, if that makes sense. So in hindsight, they are, like, I see how some women say, I am the prize, blah, 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 but, people be like, you got to bring more to it because it's a lot of y'all. And they're right, it's more women than there are men. But in hindsight, without a woman, you wouldn't be who you are because you wouldn't be born. So a lot of his ideas and his conversations to certain females, this is like, and then sometimes when they bring guys or something up there, they bring guys that kind of that really agree with them. So it's like you just have guys that are just agreeing with each other, and then the couple times you bring guys that doesn't agree. They never been back, and for some reason you feud. Like, I remember they was feuding with the guy preaching. I don't want to call that group Peach and Herb. I just know it's Preach and the other guy. and because the way the the ideas of stuff was different, and to me it just seemed like they don't like no talk back, right? Even when one of the young ladies will say something like, like he'll even say good point, but still it's only like a good 5% chance, blah blah blah. Hell, he probably don't even know that. He just said it, and then since you don't know, you just gonna be like, oh dang, because he sits there with because I think he takes everybody's phone and stuff like that. Like if I ever come on the show, he ain't taking my phone. Like I don't give a fuck who he is, but he takes their phone, but he has his phone and a little notepad, so he's writing stuff down, or he's probably googling stuff, or whatever the case may be. So he knows it right then and there, so he can go ahead and say this stuff to you. But yeah, that's just my little thoughts for right now. This video kind of long. I ain't never made a video this long, but comment down below. Eventually I'm gonna make an actual YouTube page so y'all can subscribe and all that stuff. But like, I just do this for entertainment. For the most part, conversate with different people, get people different views and all that stuff. Some of y'all might agree with what he does. Some of y'all might agree with what I do. Some of y'all might have admits. My whole thing is to each his own. Like, that's why I'm gonna call my show Talk That Talk. Cause like talk your piece, and then we can sit there and be like, okay, I get where you're coming from. Cause I feel like that's what all it is at the end of the day. You can say where you're coming from, and I can say where I'm coming from, and we can meet in the middle. It don't really have to be a big disagreement and all that stuff and all that stuff. Now, if I can help or you can help, or help comes along, then fine. But it ain't gonna be like no dictatorship. Like he feel like he's the judge, and then everybody else underneath him. Because like I said, when he said you gotta be in shape and be 6 feet and stuff, I don't think his co-partner Fresh is over 6 feet, and I know he ain't in shape. He just look like he not in shape. So it's like, well, damn, your own partner not even what you do. Now, granted, I think Myron's in shape because I think he was a former, whatever he was. Good for him, But at the same time, bro, your own partner, your right-hand man, I'm guessing, not in shape. And then I see, like, sometimes the disrespectful stuff I don't like when... Like, he had a guy, I guess that was the cameraman or the audio guy, whatever. The girl said something, and he came out of nowhere. He never on the camera. He was like, bitch, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and Myron laughing, and, Fresh laughing. Like, that's clown shit. I'm like, bro, first of all, we don't got to disrespect, nobody, females, males, whoever it is. Like, for you to feel like you have the right to disrespect them like that, and for Myron not to check that, come on now. You would check the guests if they goddamn do some disrespect, but you don't check your own people, then to me that's a coward. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna tolerate. I'm gonna say it if I get a platform like that. I'm gonna say, yo, we ain't gonna tolerate disrespect. We're gonna talk. We're gonna do all that stuff like that, and we're gonna keep it civil. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you got all them people there. It ain't gonna always be civil. All the yelling and all that stuff like that. Like, we ain't not a classroom full of kids. Goddamn, we gonna talk. If I point to you, like, okay, tell me about you. Blah 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 blah. But, him not calling them out on that's some coward shit to me. And I'm like, bro, like, tell your man he was out of line. Then she gets mad, bucks back. Then you want to jump in and be like, well, you get the fuck off my platform. When someone goes to that because they know they running things, they take authority to the head for the most part. Like, they like, oh, they think they the shit. But, I mean, he's been doing it for, I guess, 2021, I guess. I don't know. So, I mean, that's how you feel. But, like I said, it's just... Maybe they keep popping up on my little, timeline or whatever the case would be. Because maybe it's like... Maybe I need to jump into that or something. Another guy that I be following, what is that? I am 6'7". That guy, I'm more inclined with him than with them, with my and Fresh and Fit and whoever the other guys is that like follow him, because he's like, yo, if you're a big voluptuous woman, love yourself. Granted, it's not healthy. I think somebody said something about Lizzo being overweight and all that. I get it. But he like, love yourself. Like I said, I love the stretch marks. Like, you don't have to have a perfect, like, for what? Like, it's like, I know it's natural. I would really want to interview him or go on his, I don't think he does like podcasts or whatever, but I really would like to, talk to him or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's time for me to start, like, every time I see one of his videos, I'm just gonna start making like a 60-second short clip. So y'all see it on the YouTube channel. hopefully I make another one that just have that, so y'all can start subscribing to that and all that stuff, and hopefully this grow from here. But this is a long video, so this is kind of crazy. I normally talk about sports, some about certain life stuff, questions, just giving a general public, because some people be having opinions, and sometimes they want to be heard. And if you've seen all my other videos, if you comment on my video, I'm going to respond. I want to try to meet that as much as possible. I see some people comment on other people's stuff and they never get a response, and I don't want to be like that, because half the time I'll be like, well, shit, I started this, and you took the time to write something, good or bad. I don't tolerate disrespect type stuff, but whatever. I feel like I should comment back to you because I heard you. I saw your comment and I heard you. I replied to it. It won't like oh, okay, and then that's it. I respond. Even I did a little video with the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's how long ago it was when the Cowboys beat the Eagles, beat their ass actually. And I said something, and someone came up there was like, "Oh, Eagles cry, Eagles cry." I'm not crying. I'm just saying, like, we lost. It is what it is. Like, I don't like. I'm put this. I don't run from conflict, physical, intellectual. None of I ain't gonna say I'm all with the smoke, but I'm not backing down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say my piece. You say your piece, and then we go from there. That's just what it is. But yeah, so that's all this really gonna be. So like I said, you like the video, you sat here for 26 minutes or whatever the case may be, and you heard what I said, you disagree, you agree, all this stuff, leave a comment, and I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all help me grow. Like, the power that everyday people have is so remarkable, because without, and I'm an everyday person too, without us subscribing to Netflix and